everyone, and we're back doing street photography after a few sessions of actually doing more landscape and nature / travel photography orientated sort of stuff. Back with Benny. Hello, Benny.
Hello. Sorry, trying to merge.
Yeah, focusing on merging, good idea.
Good, yeah.
And so we're heading into surface today, which is our sort of usual haunt, but we've got some slightly different conditions today. And I think that's a really good thing to talk about when it comes to street photography, which is a type of photography which tends to be practiced by going back to the same location a lot. And the reason we do that is, number one, to actually understand the location really well, so we know where the best shots are, but also so that we know how it's going to play in different conditions, and we know when we can get certain sorts of shots depending on the conditions. And today the conditions are truly awful in the sense of a normal person who is not interested in photography at all, and that's good for us as photographers because it means there's going to be a lot of people with discomfort on their face running around being a little bit keen to sort of get out of the heat and the haze. It's a very, very muggy day on the Gold Coast, overcast and quite hot. So I think there's going to be a certain energy in the streets, different sort of energy to what we usually get on the sort of the hot, dry days where we get a bit more of a breeze from the sea. So yeah, something a little bit different in terms of the shots hopefully today, and I'll have a little bit of a chat about some of the ways that you can approach photographing on the street in these conditions, how to take advantage of it.
Oh, you're in a good spot too. It always starts off with me drinking this motherfucking water.
You can already feel, even in the car park, it's really, really hot. It is going to be stinking and soggy and hot outside. Soggy. What's the actual word? Yes, soggy. Alongside moist, soggy is pretty bad. Yeah, what's the actual word we usually use for when it's like really hot and terrible and soggy? Muggy street photography in surface. Muggy with mud. Don't get mugged in the muggy weather by an Ashay flipping a beads pill. Top tip for doing street photography in Australia, especially on the Gold Coast around holiday time, that. You will have seen the consequences of not using it in some of my previous videos. See, there we go, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. Have I got weird white in my hair anywhere?
There.
Alrighty everyone, so as per usual, 24-70 on the z7ii. Gives you a lot of shooting options, so it's just the logical choice really. Okay, so purely in the interests of self-preservation, we're going to do the beach first. We're going to use the most effective period of our sun protection for the highest danger rating area, I suppose you'd say, in terms of sun, UV. So beach, straight on the beach for now. Oh, it looks like they're, yeah, setting up carols on the beach. How about that? That's actually that's kind of fun. I like that. So some of the things that we've already seen today that are handy for street photography is a lot of people wearing some really nice, bright, colourful pieces of dress, and yeah, everyone's sort of getting around as quickly as they can, using bikes and so on. So it makes it sort of more fast-paced, gives it a bit more energy. Probably one of the difficult things to note as well, of course, is that people will tend to hide out in the shade, and from a dynamic range point of view, that does make it a bit difficult because you'll essentially be shooting silhouettes because just about everything else is bright. But yeah, there's one. Yeah.
So as you can see, guys.
Oh, this is a shot. That's not bad. That's a handy one. I don't mind that. This is the mistletoe at Surfers Paradise. We've got some nice Christmas decorations. It's a nice feature to frame people up. And they're just starting to set up the markets here as well. This might be a fun little shot here actually. Get Penny in the background of it.
The guy
It's not bad. Don't mind that. It is gradually starting to get less hazy. It's starting to get really, really quite bright actually. So got to factor that into the shooting. Once the cloud comes across the sun behind me though, we will have those hazy conditions back. But even though the visual nature of the haze is less evident, you still really, really have that atmosphere, the stickiness of it, which very much impacts the way people behave and the way you can get them behaving on camera. That's a great trailer.
Where'd that go?
Oh, just a personal Instagram.
Okay.
There are some things that appeal to me that I just can't explain really the reason for. I just sort of enjoy the line bike being there. Maybe it's because it's just so quintessential, you know. But I'm actually struggling to frame this one up. Go vertical. Straight on maybe. God, it's so weird trying to set up shots sometimes. You think they'll be easy and then, yeah, you've got to find a way to make it interesting, framing it up. I'll just take this, but I don't think it's actually going to be as good as I thought it would be. Just to give you an idea. You'll see going on the top might make it slightly more interesting. Another thing that you can sort of think about when you're out in slightly different conditions is making sure that if you're getting a collection over sort of a number of months or so on, you make sure to make use of different conditions to get shots of the things that fit the theme for that collection, but in a bit of a different setting, different conditions, so that it doesn't feel so monotonous once you put it all together. It's nice for it all to hang together, have some consistency, but you do want some variety just to give the sense of time passing, if nothing else. Now we're in this space. We've also got a little bit of the smoke from barbecues and restaurants mixing in with the haze here too, so it really adds to that really muggy sort of atmosphere. Yeah. Might as well get one with the tree. Fun little shot here, I think. That's not bad. Look at the ice cream over there. It's nice when people sort of come out of that ice cream spot there. That can work as a shot. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? But I've seen this people and I was like, maybe.
I just like the way how one was sitting up, looking in, the other one sitting down, looking in the other way. Look at all the line bikes. That was interesting. I always love getting people on the run. I just can't.
Like everything's moving.
Yeah. It's just hard to make sure you get them in focus. That's the only problem, really. Might try this spot again. If nothing else, it'll get us out of the heat for a bit.
But we always walk past.
Yeah. Sometimes it's yeah, a good idea to head into the cooler spots on a day like this.
Wow.
Because you know there's going to be people there escaping.
70 to 200. Actually, I did want to come to this spot because it's up that escalator.
Yeah.
There's a couple of good wide shots.
Oh,
so.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, me and Ben were just saying we came here last time with 70 to 200s and we're trying to get some more abstract, light and dark, black and white sort of shots. Or at least I was trying black and white anyway. But it certainly gave us a few ideas with what we could do with a wider lens as well. And since we're both running something wider today, Benny with the 35mm 24 to 70, yeah, it's a chance just to play with some of the high contrast areas that we have available here and I suppose the distal pause, you could say. The secondary motivation is just to get out of the heat. Certainly a nice bit of respite in here. Might be able to get a few shots of people going through the sunlight here, or like that. There's some really good patches of light there, and they fit into the framework of all of the lines here from the building quite nicely. Just seeing there, I'll show you that on screen. Really nice piece of contrast here you can use. I'm going to see if I can try and work these angles a bit more, maybe even shoot it a bit wider is the trick. Here we go, a couple of people here. Let's try these guys. There we go. Had one in the light there and then two in the other patch of light. Trying a few shots, shooting back down the other way here, and the light is starting to come out a little bit more strongly, so you can really make use of the contrast. You can see with the wide angle on here that it makes the composition just a little bit more interesting. So just wait for a few people to jump into the spots of light here. You see, this is the thing on the hazy days, you can't rely on those really strong patches of light to stay there. Right now they've just vanished a bit. The light's not coming as strongly through the glass roof here, so there's not much point trying to get the high contrast shot.
Battery not charging.
She had a real whoosh to her dress coming through. Black and white, take the light out of the corners, I reckon. Might be a moody one.
A moody?
This is the thing I was saying just before though. It's like when it's hazy, like sometimes the light just isn't strong enough there to make the contrast work.
Yeah, well, I was trying to get a shot there and then the clouds came over.
Yeah, and then you're just like, well, now you just got to wait a little bit longer. There we go. Managed to get the guy on bike. That's more of what I wanted. It'd be interesting trying this with an even wider angle to accentuate the swooping sort of shape in the ceiling there, but widest we can go today is 24. There we go. It's a very high contrast. Very high contrast. Just off of the back of what I was saying before, guys, if you are shooting in conditions that you know are going to be significantly different from what you're normally shooting in your familiar locations, you've just got to think ahead and realize that you might not be able to use those locations as effectively. It's instead a chance to try some different things with new locations, perhaps. Maybe if you want to get 1 or 2 safe shots, you have to wait it out at your favorite locations if the changing conditions allow for it. Interesting one to line up here. Get the roof in and the lady in. There we go. Nice bit of contrast. That's what it works. That's a nice one. Get that. Bang. That's what I want. Happy with that one. That can go in my Pink in Paradise one, which is one of those I was talking before about putting some shots from different conditions throughout the year into sort of long-term project albums. That's going to go in one that I call just Pink in Paradise, which is Pink Things in Surfers Paradise. And yeah, different spot, different sort of day, that's for sure. So lucky to have that one. All right, guys, we're heading back to one of me and Benny's favourite haunts once again, which is the Asian foods area. Asian food area just around the corner from where we were before. And it's another spot that we like to sort of shoot down on. It'll be a little bit different today, again, just like that location, because it's not got quite a strong light as usual. But it'll be interesting to see what it's like and maybe create some different images. Some of the colours come out a little bit differently when you've got slightly less direct or weaker light. So yeah, just things to think about and play with. Here we are, guys, back in one of me and Benny's favourite spots, and the light is certainly different here today. Since it's harder to use the shadows and high contrast today, I'm actually going to pop down the bottom, which is not something I usually do in this location. I usually just shoot from up here because I'm looking for shapes. Let's see how we go. That sort of window frame, well not window frame, shop frame, sort of shop front shot isn't one I'm actually been doing a lot recently. So Benny has just pointed out that we have now got a whole bunch of cloud coming over, which is putting us right back in these hazy conditions once again. So we're not going to see that high contrast sort of scene for a bit. So should be able to get a few more examples of how to sort of work around or work with, hopefully, hazy conditions. Just managed to find a bright colour here, so I'm going to try and pick that off. There's a decent frame down here, like that. That should work okay. And head back across to Benny before getting run over.
You run over?
on a hazy day like this, where you don't really have that hard light to work with, you've got to look for subjects that are interesting in and of themselves, I think, because you can't rely on the light to help you. You just got to look for things that deserve to be photographed in and of themselves. And I think those two were... We've got another option across here as well, while I'm talking about that. I might just wait to shoot through the let's stop there. That's all right. All right, mid-session or 2/3 session review. We've had sort of half-half in terms of strong light and hazy light, and it's sort of worked in our favour that we did have a little bit of stronger light when we were out on the beach front, but then we really had to sort of be patient and, well, yeah, patience was the main thing really, actually, when we went undercover under the building and we were trying to get the light through the glass roof. And then again, once we went through to the sort of Asian foods, where we lost a lot of the light that we normally have there, so just had to go in search of shots instead of camp. I think that might be one of the main points so far in terms of how to work around the haze. It's to actually really look and search for the shots and actually move yourself to the positions where the shots are, because when you've got that strong high contrast light, you can sort of play with it just by staying in roughly the same spot once you find a nice frame. But yeah, hazy shots, you need to move yourself around a bit more. All right guys, just about to finish this one up actually, since it's starting to get a bit darker and stormier, and we'll get a few shots on the way back, but I'll call this one here and chuck whatever photos I get and whatever other B-roll I get on the end here. Oh, it should work out all right.
Oh, that's cool.
The sky's pretty moody, so... Oh, it's so cool. The conditions are changing.
I know, it's weird.
So I kind of want to just feel it out a little bit more. Yeah. Here we go, guys. We've got like a third kind of condition developing here, which, I mean, it does often happen. We should have predicted it. It does often happen at the end of long overcast, very humid, hot days on the Gold Coast, which is that we've got a storm coming in. The sky is dark, and yeah, we're getting some much moodier frames here. Much moodier frames. So
It feels like it's like 6 p.m.
yeah. Oh, this is good. Something for a bit of. That's suddenly become so interesting. That was kind of decent. Sort of.
That's kind of fun.
Might be a black and white shot because there's really not a lot of colour in there to start with. Oh, here's Benny. Couple more shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually a bit of colour over there. Alright, that is us finally done here, guys. We've actually, decided just to call it a day with the storm coming in a bit.
See that moment though?
Oh, I didn't know.
The seagull coming over the guy's head.
Oh, yes.
He's like this.
Yes. No, that was pretty good. Well, see you guys for the second time. Thanks for joining.
Glossy I am.
Wow. Glossy.